Hello dear children. Now last day we have seen about the new branch of mathematics, that is coordinate geometry, and there we have just had an introduction to the axis. The axes are the x and y axis, and then we have seen that the what about the xy plane or the coordinate plane or the Cartesian plane. How do you get that Cartesian plane or the xy plane? The axis divide the plane into four equal parts. Each part is called as a quadrant. So the axis and the quadrant together forms the xy plane. And then we have seen that the quadrants move in which way? In the anti-clockwise direction from the OX. That is the positive x-axis. It goes in the anti-clockwise way. And then also we have seen how to describe a given point. That is, what is that point? A given point in the plane. To describe that point, finding the x and y coordinates, abscissa and the ordinate. Now today we will be learning about the specifically what the sign of the abscissa and ordinate will be in each quadrant. About the abscissa and ordinate, the sign of abscissa and ordinate in general in each quadrant, what it would be. Also we will be plotting the given point. Plotting the given point and describing are different. Describing means you are given the point, you will identify what point it is. Here you are given the point, you will be plotting that. Plotting the point. So for this you need a graph paper. So if it is possible for you, you get a graph book, because in the next chapter also you require the graph paper. So you will be plotting the points in the graph sheet. So now you will be seeing about the quadrants, the coordinates in the each quadrant. What is a sign? Now last day we have seen how to describe a given point in the xy plane. So this is the xy plane. You are having the axis, the x dash and the y dash. You are having the four quadrants. It is going in the anti-clockwise way. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Now this is the figure of what we have done yesterday. I have plotted so many points over here. It is being given, the points are given. Now let us analyze each point and then come to a conclusion of the sign of the coordinates in each quadrant. Now here you see this point P is 4, 3. So here you can see this is the first quadrant, and you can see that both the abscissa and the ordinate are positive. Both of them are positive here. Now coming to the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, see all these points you see. Q, this point, all these points which are coming in the second quadrant, you find that the abscissa is negative, ordinate is positive. Abscissa negative, ordinate positive. So in the second quadrant, abscissa is only negative, ordinate is positive. Now come to the third quadrant. Now third quadrant you see are -5, -3. So here what you are observing? Both abscissa and the ordinate are negative. Now coming to the fourth quadrant. See here the point S. 4, -4. So what do you observe here? The abscissa is positive, ordinate is negative. So what conclusion you get from this? In the first quadrant, both the abscissa and ordinate are positive. In the third quadrant, both abscissa and ordinate are negative. In the second quadrant, abscissa is negative. In the fourth quadrant, ordinate is negative. So you may get questions like this. You'll be given the point and then asked to find out in which quadrant they fall into. So in the first and the third quadrant, first quadrant both of them are positive, third quadrant both are negative. In the second quadrant, abscissa negative, in the fourth quadrant ordinate is negative. So this is the general sign of the ordinate and abscissa in the four quadrants. Now supposing the question is, in which quadrant does this point T 6, 0 lie? There it is not in the quadrant, that is, it is nowhere here inside. This portion is called as a quadrant. So this particular point is not inside the quadrant. Where is it? It is on the x-axis. Same way, this point M 0, 5. Where is it? In which quadrant it is? It is not in this quadrant. It is not in this quadrant also. But where it is placed? It is on the positive y-axis. Same way here, this point, say take this one, minus 4, 0. Which quadrant it is? Is it in the second quadrant or in the third quadrant? It is not in any of these quadrants. It is on the negative x-axis. Same way, this point 0, minus 6. This point is in, whether it is in third or fourth quadrant, it is neither in third nor in fourth, but it is in negative y-axis. So hope you have understood the sign conventions of the abscissa and ordinate in each quadrant. Now we'll be learning how to plot a given point. For that, as I told you, you require a graph sheet. As I don't have a graph sheet, I have just made a graph sheet like in this book. So this thing is not a graph sheet, it is a paper only. I have made it like a graph sheet by drawing grids. So you will be doing this work in a graph sheet. So I am having a graph sheet like here. Okay. Now supposing I am asked to mark a point, say A 5, 2. A 5, 2. By convention, how is a point described? Always the abscissa will be written first and then the ordinate. So here 5 is the abscissa and 2 is the ordinate. 5 is abscissa, 2 is the ordinate. Now how you are going to represent this particular point A in this xy plane? Now what is abscissa? Abscissa is the perpendicular distance from the y-axis measured along the x-axis. So perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So you have to take how many units? 5 units. Because this is positive, you will be taking along which axis? Positive x-axis from the y-axis. How many units? 5 units. So you are taking 5 units. Okay. It is up till here. Then the ordinate is 2. Ordinate is 2 means, what is ordinate? It is a perpendicular distance from the x-axis taken along the y-axis. So here also it is positive. The ordinate is also positive. So you will be looking into the positive y-axis. So where is it? 2. So you are going to draw perpendiculars from 5 and 2 and see where it meets. So for that I am going to draw dotted lines. So up till here and from here. So this will be the point A 5, 2. Clear? Now suppose you are asked to make a point, say B minus 3, 4. Minus 3, 4. So here the abscissa is minus 3. So where it will be? You will be looking it along the negative x-axis. And ordinate is positive. So which quadrant will this come? This will be in the second quadrant. Abscissa alone is negative. So here abscissa is 3 units in the negative x-axis from the y-axis. So it will be, see this much, 3 units. It will be somewhere here. And so I'm going to mark it. Okay. And then you are having ordinate is 4. 4 ordinate means it is a perpendicular distance from the x-axis measured along the y-axis. So 4 minus 3 and 4. Now let us see where they are going to meet. So from 4 I am going to draw, and from minus 3 I am going to draw a dotted line where they are meeting this. So this is the point B minus 3, 4. One more point I am going to make. C. Mark the point C. Say 2, minus 2. 2, minus 2. So Abscissa is 2, ordinate is minus 2. Abscissa positive, ordinate is negative. So which quadrant this will be? This will be in the fourth quadrant. Abscissa is positive, ordinate is negative. So abscissa 2 means along the positive x-axis you will be taking 2. Okay, keep it in mind. Next is ordinate is minus 2. So draw from minus 2 and 2 from the x-axis. So this will be meeting here. So this is the point C, 2 comma minus 2. Now one more point let us take, say D, minus 4 comma minus 3. So both are negative means this will be in which quadrant? The third quadrant. So abscissa is minus 4, 4 units in the negative x-axis, and this is minus 3. So 3 units in the negative y-axis. So minus 4, minus 3. So let us draw from minus 4 down. So this will be the point D, minus 4 comma minus 3. So hope you have understood how you are plotting the points. Now supposing a question is plot a point E, 0 comma minus 2. 0 comma minus 2. So abscissa is 0 and ordinate is minus 2. So where will this particular point be? In which quadrant? Because the abscissa is 0, it won't be in any of the quadrants, but it will be in some axis. Which axis? Because abscissa is 0, it would be in the y-axis. Now y-axis also, whether it is in the positive or negative, how you will find? See the ordinate. The ordinate is minus 2. So if ordinate is minus 2, it would be in the negative y-axis. So where would this point be? E 0 comma 2? It will be here at minus 2 in the negative y-axis. So this will be the point E 0 comma minus 2. Now suppose we have another one point. Say take F 3 comma 0. 3 comma 0. Here also you look at this point. Here the ordinate is 0, which means this will not be in any of the quadrants, but it will be in an axis. Which axis? Ordinate is 0 means it would be in the x-axis. The x-axis abscissa, it is positive, so it will be where? On the positive x-axis. Where? At 3. So where would this point be? 3 units in the x-axis and the y-coordinate is 0. So this would be the point F 3 comma 0. One more, let us take the point G, say 0 comma 5. 0 comma 5. So 0 comma 5. So you have to keep in mind, see whether there is any point, any ordinate or abscissa. If it is 0 means it will not be in any of the quadrants. It will be in the axis. So now here it is G. The point G is 0 comma 5. So here the abscissa is 0. Ordinate is 5. Positive. So where would this be? This would be on the positive y-axis. Where? 5 units from the x-axis. So this point will be, this is positive 5 along the y-axis. This would be the point G 0 comma 5. Now same way one more we'll take H. Say minus 5 comma 0. Minus 5 comma 0. So here you see it is 0. One of the coordinates is 0. So this will be in an axis. Ordinate is 0. That means it will be in x-axis. It will be on the x-axis. Since abscissa is negative, it will be on the negative x-axis. Where? 5 units in the negative. From the y-axis, 5 units along the negative x-axis. So where is minus 5? Here. So this is the point h minus 5 comma 0. So hope you have understood how to plot the points in the xy plane. Only thing you have to keep in mind is first you will be seeing about the sign conventions of the abscissa and ordinate. If both are positive, it will be in the first quadrant. Both are negative, it will be in the third quadrant. Abscissa alone negative, second quadrant. Ordinate alone negative, fourth quadrant. And accordingly you can mark. And second thing what you have to keep in mind is see whether any of the coordinates is 0. Then it won't be in any of the quadrants. It would be in the x or y axis depending upon whether the abscissa or ordinate is 0. If abscissa is 0, it will be along the y axis. And if ordinate is 0, it would be along the x axis. Here also depending upon whether the given ones are positive or negative. So hope you have understood how to plot the points on the given xy plane. Thank you, children.